Yo, what's up YouTube? Tigz here, bringing you guys another Escape from Tarkov video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a showcase through all of the new items in the game that are currently active and able to be acquired. We're going to go through all the guns, we're going to go through all the attachments. I will exclude armor plate system because I'm going to leave that for a separate video. But yeah, I'm going to show you all the cool new stuff that's added into the game. So let's get into it. So first of all, we may as well start with the backpacks because they're the biggest thing here. New backpack called Dragon Egg. When you open it, it doesn't have that many slots. It's got enough to fit one rig in it, which is pretty nice, I guess. One helmet and then maybe like a car battery or something. Backpack wise, I wouldn't say it's worth it. If you go to the flea market and check its price, it's around 33k. Personally, if it was me, I would probably just go for a backpack just like this, as I think this backpack's more efficient. It's 30k, it's cheaper, and you can put 2 rigs in it. But still, it's a new backpack, still pretty cool. Now you're gonna look at this one right here. This is another massive backpack that they've added to the game, but this one is really weird for some reason. It's more of like a camper's backpack. So when you open it, you go here, you can fit 2 rigs on either side, and then I guess you could fit someone's medigun here, which I guess isn't the worst thing in the world. The only problem is it's segregated like this between 3 areas, which isn't really handy when it comes to looting. There's obviously going to be better backpacks. For example, the Trooper, Attack 2, Raid backpack, and obviously the Mystery Branch backpack as well. But still, it's a new backpack, pretty cool. It's obviously not the worst, and it costs 100k from traders. It is a bit heavy though. It's around 3 kilograms, so gonna make your mind up on that one. You guys are gonna be curious what these things are. These are Christmas gifts right now that you can get exclusively from airdrops. There is a big variant and there is a small variant. In the small variant, I've got food like sugar, vodka, moonshine. I think I got from one of these. And then the big one, I haven't actually opened them yet. I'm trying to save these for this swipe just for fun. So I'm not too sure what drops in these, but if you want them, check airdrops. Next, let's go to the scopes. Okay, so there's 2 scopes that I think are really cool here. The Tango scope, which is around Tango scope is around at 70k on the flea market right now, which is a good price in my opinion. And the boss scope. So the 2 differences here is the boss scope, I would say, is a replacement to the PK06. Only issue being it's 50k, which is pretty expensive if you got traders. If you don't, you're going to be bumped up to nearly 100k. I will show that scope in a second. And then the Tango is probably the best scope in the game overall, I think, for everything. It's got a clean reticle. You can double zoom and it looks like a Bravo, and the sensitivity works perfectly fine. So I'm going to quickly show you guys that now. Alright, so we're in the hideout now. I'm going to quickly show you the scope and I guess the recoil of the MCX, which we'll move on soon. This is the scope in the 1x variant, and then if you double zoom it, it turns into a Bravo basically, which is really, really nice. I put the wrong bullets in here. Now moving on to the Sig Spear. This is the new scope, I would say PK06 replacement. This is the default reticle that you get. If you press Alt and right click once, it'll change that to this with a laser. To note, do not use this for the laser. The laser is not accurate with hipfire. It is strictly just like for a laser. It doesn't actually give you any benefit. And then you press it again and you get it with no laser, which I think is probably the best choice here. And then if you really like small dots, this is the last variant, which I think is really cool. Only problem with this is you want to use it with a gun that's got very low recoil, so you can actually see where the dot is. Otherwise, the dot will slowly start to disappear as you shoot. But yes, very, very cool scope. These are the 2 of the best new scopes in the game, and I use this scope exclusively now with this new wipe. That moves now us to the guns. So 2 new guns here, or actually 4 new guns, I think. We've got the Sig. So Sig is probably going to be your biggest interest. There's 2 rounds that come with the Sig. There's the Sig Hybrid and the Sig FMJ. Sig Hybrid is one of the best rounds in the game currently, with the highest stats, and FMJ is the 2nd best round for the Sig. I'm not going to go into full detail on these bullets because that would be used for a separate video. But yeah, overall, just the basis knowledge here. Hybrid is the best bullet, and FMJ is the 2nd best. You can buy this bullet for $10 a round, which I'll buy some now. So you can buy those at $10 a round, pretty expensive. And if you go here, it's FMJ, which you can buy for $5 a round from the traders. Obviously, you have to unlock this through quests. If you're wondering how to get that, and it is quite tedious. I still don't have the Sig Spear unlocked via traders. I'm working on unlocking that for now. From what I did check though, you can buy it from traders. You can buy 3 per reset from Peacekeeper for $2,000 basically. So once I get that quest, I can get a lot of those. And it seems that it does come with the scope and the suppressor, which is very, very efficient and very cheap actually. Hopefully they don't nerf that. So this is the stats of the Sig without any attachments pretty much, apart from the silencer. 40 ergo, 65 recoil. This gun, I have a short video on my YouTube channel if you want to see what the recoil's like. I'm not going to include that in this video because I just wanted to showcase the items to you. But it is a very, very good gun, and I think it'll probably take over the meta like the meta Mutant did last wipe and the 704. Very, very cool gun. And those are the bullets for it. Moving on now to the, I would say, like the budget versions of the Val and the VSS. You can mod these guns, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think they're that good from testing them. Their recoil is quite significant compared to the Val or the VSS. So if I was going to use something like that, I would probably opt for those choices instead. But that being said, they are meant to be made for cheap, you know, variants of the Val and VSS. You can mod it out and put a scope on it, but honestly, I wouldn't waste your time with it. And the recoil is pretty significant as well. Magazine capacity wise, they only have 20 rounders as far as I know, which is really low for a gun that shoots so fast. You got 10 rounder and 20 rounder. I did use it in one raid and I regretted it pretty much quickly because I would fight people and run out of bullets very fast at distance. These are the two variants. One of them you can mod more than the other, and one's got slightly better stats. Personally, I wouldn't buy them. So you got from flea market 60k, and from this flea market right here 40k. So they are relatively cheap. I would say, if anything, these are really, really good rat weapons. But outside of that, if you're trying to actually play the game, I would not recommend using these guns. We move on to the other guns here. We've got the moving on to the other guns here now. We've got the RPD and the RPDM, which are two different variants of each other. You can mod the RPDN to have the barrel of the RPD, by the way. So two differences. The RPD you can buy from Prapper once you get level 4, I think. You can buy 2 per reset. I've already bought one so far. Then 90k, which is honestly relatively cheap. I did do a video on this separately about how broken this gun is. It is very, very strong. So if you want to watch that, that'll be on the channel. This is the RPDN. This is the one you want, okay? This comes from a barter trade with Mechanic. You have to unlock this. It costs around 120k. It uses a military circuit board and a cyclone. So I would expect to see these items rise in the future as people start to unlock this barter trade. This is, in my opinion, one of the best guns in the game right now for its price and just overall fun. It's useful in lots of situations, and it uses 7.62 BP ammo if needed. Very, very strong weapon. And even though the stats look bad, trust me, they're not. Super, super good. You can also mount this SVD with a long-range scope by using the Cobra mount and a 30mm mount like this. For example, you have to use the QD, for example, by the way. This is an important part. This is what allows you to mount the big scopes. And as you can see, you can just mount whatever big scope you want on here. So really, really cool. Like I said, you can change the barrel length too from this one. The standard RPD, as far as I know, you can't mount any scopes to it. It is literally just a gun that you pick up for fun. Is it usable? Yes, and it's probably some form of gun that people use if they want to rat. I don't know. The fact that you can't put a scope on it is a bit odd, but yeah, that is an option as well. But I highly recommend just going for this one. Very, very good. This is a really sick gun. Moving on now to the masks. Okay, so Ragman now sells Diamond Age Neo Steel High Cut Mask in black. Looks really cool. You can buy this from him for 72k. There's also an attachment that you can get for this called the Diamond Age Neo Steel Helmet Ballistic Mandible. I haven't found this yet. I don't know where you find it. It is 500,000 rubles. And even though the tier class is bad, it protects the throat, jaws, ears, and face. So that's pretty cool. Protects throat. That's really, really cool, actually. But yeah, very cool attachment. Hopefully, we find out how to find these. It's definitely a really cool helmet. Then we've got the MPP Kayas with the visor that you can get from Ragman at level 3, I think. I think it's level 3. Yeah, it is. It's 58,000 rubles for a tier 3. And the visor is a tier 3 as well. And yeah, it's just basically a budget helmet of the, I guess you could say, like the Cry Precision frame. Not a bad helmet. I've used it. It's actually saved me quite a bit against the Timmies with pistols. Not bad at all. There you've got these two caps here, which you guys have probably not seen yet. You get these caps directly from Kaban's new bosses. If you guys didn't know, Kaban has 2 individual mini bosses that spawn with him now. They wear, like, I would say, like, USEC clothing, but unique to them. That's not on Ragman that you can buy. You'll know what I mean when you see them. Very unique. And these are the unique caps that they have for sale, or that they have on their body. And when you kill them, you can sell them on the flea market, but as of right now, there's only these 2. Now moving on to this mask, the Atomic Defense. This is a really cool mask, by the way, and it's actually got a use. Think of it as like a better shadowed mask, if you will. You can buy this from the flea market. It's got very good stats. It's tier 4 class. It protects face, jaws, eyes, and head top. You go to the flea market, it's 300k from players, and eventually you can unlock it with Ragman for 83k. Honestly, for its price, I know that sounds crazy. That's not bad at all. It's a tier 4 face mask. This is really good. I like this a lot. So those are those new items. So moving on now, because I don't have access to the items, because I don't have enough rubles, I'm going to go through the handbook and show you all the new items through there. Not all of the new items will be in the game through this handbook. Some of them are going to be hidden, obviously, because no one's reached that point yet, but some of them have been left behind. So, Sacred Amulet. From what BSG said in their podcast, this amulet will be used for making a peace treaty with the cultists on maps, I think. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to work like that, but that's my best guess. This is something that you get from Lightkeeper and doing his quests, and I assume that you can pay for. Pretty cool. This would probably go in your special equipment slot right here, and yeah, as far as that goes, I'm not sure how else that would work, but that's one of the new items. Alright, we're going to quickly go over the new food items here. Now, this is going to be a bit of a salty one for you guys. Pack of instant noodles. You need this for a quest. Pain in the ass to find. You need 2 of them, and they're pretty rare. My best suggestion to find these are inside wooden boxes and places that spawned food, like Streets of Tarkov, a lot. And obviously scav backpacks, that's where I found mine. These are really hard to come by, but yeah, new pack of noodles. And then there's this new pack of food here called Tarkov dried meat. It's actually not bad meat. Pretty cheap on the flea market too, and I find these quite a lot in Raid. So those are new two food items right there. Another big change here for you guys that probably didn't know about this. I thought I'd fill you in on this one. They've added a bunch of new ammo box spawns for every single bullet in the game. So basically, maps like Streets of Tarkov, you can pretty much go find this box of ammo randomly all across the map. And if you guys didn't know, Streets is the best map for finding these bullets. Best map. So yeah, new boxes. Pretty cool. And they come with tons of ammo, by the way. I mean, tons of rounds. Really cool. I think the 995 gives you around 200 and... Let's see. Yeah, it gives you 100 rounds per box, so that's pretty crazy. Alright, moving on to melee weapons now. There's one new melee weapon this swipe, which is the military police baton. You get this from the new boss. Kaluntai, I think his name is. I haven't yet seen him, and I don't think you can filter it by... Oh, you can buy this on the flea market. You can. Wow, that's cool. So this guy's somehow managed to find the boss twice and kill him. So that's really cool. It's actually got good stats as well somehow. Very cool stats. So if you want that, for whatever reason, you can buy it. Okay, we've also got 2 new tactical foregrips here. The red one, honestly, just mainly cosmetic if you want to make your gun all red, like on one of those AKs. And then you've got this one as well. Both of these are pretty decent, but I wouldn't say they're that great. This is also another variant as well. That's the new grips that they've added this wipe. I'm going to add this to the video as well. Honorable mention here, as this was added into late last wipe and not many people knew about it. There's the 2 new thermal scopes. You unlock these via doing quests. This is a 2 to 8 times scope with 2 different variants. It has a purple variant and just the basic white variant. This is a very, very good thermal scope, and I would say it's better than the Reap IR. There is also the hollow thermal, which I think is really, really cool. Very expensive though, unfortunately. But you do unlock this after quests. I thought I'd add this in because you probably didn't know about this. As many people in my chat used to ask, where did you get that from? So I thought I'd let you know. They've also added this new flashlight this wipe called the Zenit 2D. It works exactly the same as any other flashlight. I guess it's just another cosmetic add to the game that is usable. Also, there's a new adapter for the gun nuts out there that like making their guns look cool in Escape from Tarkov. It is a AK adapter that allows AR type pistol grips. So if you want that ergo style pistol grip on your AK, you can now do that, which I think is pretty cool, and it will make your gun look a lot better. Moving on now to another mask that you can buy off the flea market. This mask isn't as good as the other one, but I think it looks pretty cool. You can also stack this with a bastion and other things to make your PMC look really, really cool as well. It's called the Death Shadow Lightweight Mask. It is a tier 2 and it covers eyes, jaws, and face. I think this one looks really nice. Basically just drip at this point. The Ghost Half Mask now, so if you want to run glasses with the mask, you can. As you saw before, this is the previous version. You can also buy this off the traders, which is relatively cheap. Now we're going to move on to the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is a new addition to the Hideout this wipe. You can upgrade it 3 times. This is the fully upgraded version. The basis of how this works is you put dog tags that you've got from killing people in here. The higher the level, the better the XP boost. You can also pin these on your profile so people can see them when they look at your profile. You can fit up to 12 dog tags per slot. Or sorry, you can fit up to 12 dog tags total. Obviously, the higher the level, the more XP bonus you're going to get. Also, to note, as of right now, my hideout is bugged. I can't take out any items. This is the boost that you can see here. Honestly, the boost is really low. Hopefully, it scales up pretty quickly, but you get 0.5% of skill level in boost to combat. So that would include like recoil control and stuff like that. And yeah, that's the explanation of those things right there. You can fit up to a ridiculous amount of small trophies in here and large trophies. I will go in the hideout and show you. I want to quickly inspect these for you. There's also some new items to swipe. So straight away, Bear Operative figure. These are all around 60,000 rubles, by the way. We've got the USEC plushie. We have the Cultist plushie, which I think is the coolest one. We have just the basic Scav plushie. Pretty cool. We got the Politician plushie. The Rizzy plushie from the lore stuff that they like to do. And then we have the Christmas one, which I also think is probably the second coolest one as well. The little Santa hat. These all sell for around the same. From what I've noticed, the cultist one is probably the rarest one to find from my experience. But yeah, you can use this to store all of your quest items like lions and stuff that you want to just save space on in the inventory, which is really, really nice. And obviously some of the streamer items as well. Not all streamer items fit in here, unfortunately, but some of them do. This is the trophy area, as you can see. Just an extra area that's been added over here. You can literally come up and just inspect the items if you really want to. It's obviously just a cool little thing for some people that might enjoy it. Honestly, I'm not a big fan, but I think it is still really cool. Mainly for the boosts, and then the dog tags get stored here. All of this stuff can be stored on your profile, by the way. It seems that some of the things are interactable. But yeah, that's that. Not a bad addition. That's the video, guys. If you think I've left anything out, it's probably because I've done it on purpose and I plan to make it in another video. For example, like the armor plates, it's pretty complicated and would require a video with a lot of time spent. But yeah, that's all the cool new items that's been added into Tarkov. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to sub and like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.